Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun says the controversy surrounding payment of the whistleblower on the monies uncovered at an apartment in Ikoyi, Lagos, will be laid to rest soon. In a statement issued by her special advisor, Adeosun denied claims that the government had withheld any fund due to any whistleblower, adding that the delay was caused by administrative procedures. The controversy was sparked off last week when Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, said the whistleblower is now a millionaire. The whistleblower's lawyer immediately raised an alarm that his client was yet to be paid. Well, the lawyer, Yakubu Galadima, says his client is prepared to sue the federal government for fraud if he is not paid his money soon. With us in the studio is another lawyer, Olayinka Ola-Daniels, to talk more about this. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
Now, let's start this way with, a little bit of a look back into time. The whistleblower policy started off sometime around last year when the federal government introduced it. And then we've had that discovery at an Ikoyi apartment in April.
Very well.
And then in June, the Senate passed the whistleblower protection bill, but it is yet to move through the National Assembly to the president. Does the federal government need a legal framework before such consequences like this whistleblower who is asking for his money, to be settled? Well,
when it comes to legal issue, considering that, well, you can't take it out so that, you claim that there's money somewhere and, well, the money has not been found, or the money was found, but it has not been ascertained that it actually belongs to whoever you claim the money belongs to. And they don't want to take such money, then give you your own percentage, and in the end, they find out that it was actually not the picture you painted. Well, that they may be careful. But in this case, the story is totally different. This happened in April. If money was sent in April, this money has been forfeited in April. No one has come to claim, and we know what happened during the investigation and all that. So April till November, why have you not paid? The percentage, pay him, pay the whistleblower, then subsequently, whatever you want to do with the rest of the money, that is your cup of tea. Here, to my opinion, federal government has not done justice to this particular whistleblower. April, if I'm in contract, we have a contract, and it's taking this long, and I executed my contract by April, and by November, I'm not paid. Then I think there's a problem.
Indeed, it's a shame, and unfortunately, we don't know the rules of engagement, like when the commission is payable, etc. But the contention right now is that the lawyer is threatening to sue the federal government. And then they also say, besides the option of suing the federal government, they also have other options. What possible options could this be?
Well, one, don't forget, yes, it's the policy of the federal government to come up to say, okay, let people help us to fight this corruption. And people have come to say, okay, fine. How do we go about this? Okay, by whatever you see, tell us. Then they also went further to encourage the individual to say, okay, when you do this, then you get a commission.
Exactly.
It's clear. That is, the contract is clear enough. So if then you don't fulfill your part of the consideration, I've done my part. If you don't fulfill the part of your own consideration, then I can go to court. Don't forget, even the so-called bills, at least some of us have access. We've been able to see it even without being the assent, but we've been able to see, and it is there, it's clearly stated, you can sue. There's provision, the statute covers the whistleblower that he can go ahead to court to sue the federal government if intimidated, if a part of it, you are not paid. And I mean, it is sad, it is appalling.
But let me take you back a bit on your initial point. Yeah. You talked about the money, being subject to some form of legal commitments or requirements. What would be the implication of spending or paying the whistleblower from money that the owner hasn't actually been determined in a court of law, even until now as we speak?
Okay, it's simple. Let's break it down. If it's not been determined, that's the reason why the court will always give room for anyone that claims the money belongs to him or her to come up. They give them time to come up to say, okay, it is my money.
Yeah,
so
to claim the money.
To claim the money. So if nobody has come to claim the money will not just be in the fallow. So if you have not come to claim the money, then what the court do next is to say, okay, fine, nobody has come. This money is either temporarily forfeited or permanently forfeited. And at that point, there's no reason why an whistleblower should not be paid his own part of the consideration. I don't see any reason, because seriously, one thing the federal government has failed to realize, if care is not taken, they will lose the trust of the people coming out to help in fighting this corruption. And the so-called corruption, the corruption fight, we will not head anywhere if we continue this way. Okay, the finance minister said they had paid some, and that while they are not saying they are not paying, in fact, we even heard the funny part of it, that the man is mad, by EFCC declaring the man mad. And the question I ask, which power does the federal government have to determine somebody's condition of mentality? Then you take it to the appropriate quarters to do that, not you. So when he was blowing the whistle, he was not mad. Now to give him his money, he is mad. I think we have to be careful, and I think federal government should do the needful. And when things like this happen, we don't have to make noise.
The
we don't have to talk about it.
Lawyer Galadima, yes, he says that his client is jobless, and that his life is at risk, and you know, his life is in danger. What happened to the provision by the federal government, which is a promise, to protect the life of the whistleblower?
Well, it is sad that we are here today. Why I say that, there was no reason why federal government should have waited for the whistleblower to cry out for his money. At that point, he's exposed. From April, if you had paid him, I'm sure nobody will know what has happened.
What does that say of this government? I'm
sorry to say that this government, as my personal opinion, and I'm sure maybe the opinion of an average Nigerian, is not serious about this whole fight. Because if you're serious, and we're not proactive. The government is not proactive in any way. They are so slow. It is when people started making noise about an issue, that is when they come to the table to say, okay, what is the problem? Let us fix it. I don't need to tell you that somebody had a business with you by April and November, you have not paid. And now you are giving excuses. Now, don't forget that the DSS, it was in the camp of the DSS gave him an apartment. It was in the camp of DSS for security. Okay. Then suddenly, the DSS said he was mad, then was referred to EFCC. They even called the lawyer to come and pick him, was referred to EFCC. EFCC said he's mad. Then EFCC transferred him to the psychiatric hospital for a test. Yes, these are the things that went wrong. And at that point, tell me, this man is exposed. He's exposed to the extent that even the lawyer is the one that now gives him money to do. Now he's the one that probably providing security for him. He's exposed already.
That brings us to the point of the Whistleblower Protection Bill. I wonder if you've studied it. Now, does it make room? Does it have any provision, you know, to forestall any form of, you know, unwholesome consequences like this exposure of the whistleblower in the Ikoyi apartment loot that you talk about?
See. It is sad. Or again, I will say that, I will repeat that. It is sad that it has gotten to this point. The bills that we saw made enough provisions for protection of the whistleblower. Now the question is, the so-called protection we are talking about that the law made provision for, can that individual get such protection? Look at the way this had moved. From DSS released him to EFCC that is making noise. That means come and carry your property. That's the way they put it. That is disturbing or he is mad. This is an security agency that is supposed to give you protection, not to make sure that he is undercover and nobody knows who the whistleblower is. Now they release you to EFCC. What did the EFCC do? They called the lawyer again. And by the time you are doing that, So tell me, technically speaking, will this protection work? The bill is there, but the enforcement, do we have it? Which we lack, particularly this side of the country. Enforcement is zero.
Well, that seems to be the problem with most of what happens in Nigeria, the lack of implementing things and enforcing them.
It is sad. When they were even supposed to give the money, EFCC came up to say, yes, the reason why the money has not been released because we want to train him, want to counsel him how to spend the money, that maybe he has never seen a money like that. God! Who are you to determine is it your job is it the job of EFCC to counsel? We have a deal. Now give me my money. I've done my part. You are telling me you want to counsel me how to spend my money.
So
no, it's absurd.
Essentially, even if the Whistleblower Protection Bill has all of these provisions, the attitude of the institutions is not very promising, even when the bill is passed.
We are not there. We pray that someday we'll get it right, but as we speak, we are not there. Enforcement is zero in this country.
And this is going to definitely water down the whole whistleblower thing. Olayinka Ola-Daniels, lawyer, thank you for joining us on the TVC News Hour.
Thank you.